Hey everyone, I'm your average guide Sahil Gogna. Welcome back to another video. So guys, the government of Canada announced a new rule in which they are allowing the international students to work for more than 20 hours. And in today's video, we are going to discuss who all are eligible for this new rule, what are some of the advantages of this new rule and some of the concerns that students might have. So without any delay, let's get started. So guys, now let's talk about who all are eligible for this new rule. So the government of Canada, from their IRCC Twitter handle, they shared a tweet in which they have stated the 3 eligibility criteria for the students. The first one is that your study permit has already been issued, which means that all the students who are currently on a valid permit in Canada right now, they are eligible to work for more than 20 hours on their study permit. And the second one is your study permit has been approved, but you have not arrived in Canada. So in case you are sitting back in your home country in India, wherever you are from, and if you have been approved with a valid study permit and you are allowed to study here in Canada, so once you land here in Canada, you will be allowed to work for more than 20 hours. And the third point, the third eligibility criteria that have been stated is you submitted a study permit application before 7th of October and you are awaiting for approval. So in case you have already submitted your study permit application before 7th of October, then you are eligible to work for more than 20 hours. But there's one concern that all students have, and I was going through the comments on this tweet, and the students are concerned that what if they have applied for the study permit on 7th of October. So till this point of time, it's not clear whether they are eligible to work for more than 20 hours or not. One thing is for sure, that the students who will be applying for study permit after 7th of October, they are not eligible as per this tweet. But what about those students who have applied for their study permit on 7th of October? So in case you have any update on this, make sure to comment down in the comment section below and we all can learn from your comment. So the other question that you all might have is how many hours a student is allowed to work, or is there any upper limit of number of hours for the students? And the answer is no, because I was going through the article and I wasn't able to find any upper limit for the number of working hours. But there's one point that IRCC has mentioned, and that is that study permit holders are still expected to balance their studies and work commitments, and those who stop studying or reduce their course load to only study part-time, they won't be eligible to work off campus. So you just need to make sure that you're studying, you're maintaining a balance between your study and your work. Your program is still full-time and there's no upper limit for you on how much you can work as a student on your study permit. And on the next thing that you might be thinking is, what are some of the advantages that student can avail from this new rule? So firstly, which is a very obvious advantage, that students can work any number of hours and it will be very easier for them to save the money for their fee. For example, earlier if the international students, they were allowed to work for just 20 hours, the monthly salary was around $900 to $1,100 depending on the province you are working in and the minimum wage for your job. And right now, if the students are working more than 20 hours, now they can earn around $2,000 to $2,200, again depending upon the province that you are working upon. And I think it will be very easier for you to save around $1,000 to $1,200, which you can later on use to pay off your fees. So I think this is one of the biggest advantage of this new rule. And the second advantage is for the tech jobs. And as you all guys know that I am from the tech industry, and I was very happy to see that now the students can, since the students are allowed to work for more than 20 hours, they will be able to apply for a lot of tech jobs. Because when I was a student and I was trying to apply for a lot of different jobs for software developer or for data engineer, all the companies, they were looking for the candidates who were available to work full time. And I think this is one of the biggest advantage that you can get as a student. While you are studying, you are also allowed to work in a tech company, and that too full time. And this will help you to build your experience while you are still a student, and once you are ready to apply for the full-time jobs on your work permit, then there will be no limit for you to apply for different companies, or you will already have the industry experience. And I think one of the major concerns that the students earlier had, that they don't have the Canadian work experience, this is the opportunity guys that you can take, and now you can have the Canadian work experience. And when you are ready to apply for the new jobs on your work permit, then you can take advantage of this 1 year that you are now getting as a bonus as the international student. And now let's talk about a few of the concerns that we all might have. So If we look at from a higher perspective, the things are looking pretty straightforward, pretty clear, and it looks like it's a win-win situation for both the Canadian government as well as the students, because earlier students used to work on cash and it was a loss for Canadian government because there's no record for that work and students were not paying taxes on those extra hours that they were working upon. But now, since the students will be legally working for extra hours, the Canadian government will get the taxes, and at the same time the students won't be exploited by the employers, because earlier it used to happen that if the minimum wage is $12 per hour, so students used to get a cash job on $8 or $10, which was a sort of exploitation of the international students. I think now these things will be balanced out, but still there are a lot of concerns. There are 6 major concerns that I have around this new rule, and which I would like you guys to also think or just pay attention on them. The first one is that we already know that the students are allowed to work full-time, but whether or not that full-time work experience will be considered for the permanent residency application or not, this is the major concern. And I think this work experience won't be considered, and I'm saying this because earlier, whenever we used to work full-time on our internships or in our co-work term, that full-time experience wasn't considered towards a permanent residency application. And if the same pattern is followed for this work experience also, then I don't think so this work experience will also be considered toward our application. So still we haven't got any direct clarification from the government of Canada on this part, but as per my views, I don't think so this will be considered. So in case this gets updated and you have an updated news, or we have any sort of clarity on this part, then make sure to comment down in the comment section below. The second major concern that I have is around getting a tech job. So earlier, as I mentioned, that now the students, they will be able to apply for their field jobs or the tech jobs very easily, because the employers, they were looking for the full-time employees. But this, at the same time, whenever the students, they used to apply for the job on the implied status, which means that you have applied for your work permit but you have not yet been given the confirmation that your work permit has been approved. So what I had noticed at my time, that the employers were a bit hesitant of giving you a job. They were asking for a work permit in hand. So again, like, even though now we are allowed to work full time, we are not sure whether the employers will accept this new rule or not. And the third major concern is around more competition for the full-time jobs. So let's say in this current scenario, all the students, are working full times, but there might be few of the students who are coming on the work permit, and right now, once they are on the work permit, they will have less number of jobs available as it was available earlier. So now it will be very hard for the work permit holders, and especially for those people who are coming directly on their permanent residency, because the number of jobs, they are limited in each province, and if they're already being taken by the students, then what will the work permit holders do, or the permanent residency holders who are directly coming to Canada will do? But at the same time, I believe that if you have enough skills and if you have devoted enough time in researching about your industry, it won't be difficult for you to get the jobs, because the industry demands the skill over anything. So if you have already spent a lot of hours training yourself or learning the new technologies, I think you will be good to go and you don't need to worry about this third point. The fourth major concern is for the students who have applied for the study permit after 7th of October. So we already know that the students who applied for the study permit before 7th of October, they are allowed to work for full time. And now the students who have applied after 7th of October, when they will come to Canada, it will be very hard for them to get a job, because the employers, they will definitely go for a person who is available for full time rather than a person who is available for part time, right? So all the new students, when they will be competing against those students who have more number of hours available to work, it will be very difficult for them to get a job. So all the new students who are coming to Canada will need to keep this point in mind, and they need to be prepared to put in some extra efforts to get a part-time job. The fifth concern is around the international students being distracted from their goals. So we as international students, we come to Canada in search of a good life and to fulfill our dreams. But if we all get stuck in this temporary jobs or the odd jobs working full time, then I think it will be very hard for us to develop the skills while we are student, and it will be very easy for the international students to get distracted from their goals. This is one of the biggest concerns that I personally have. So one thing that I would like to suggest to all the students, that once you have gathered all your fees or you have paid off your loans while you're a student, just make sure to focus on your skills also, because otherwise you might get stuck in these minimum paying jobs for a longer time. So please keep this point in mind. So guys, this was today's video. I hope you have really liked the video and learned a lot from this video. Please make sure to comment down your thoughts. What do you think? Is this new rule beneficial for the international students, or this might have some of the consequences for the student community? Make sure to subscribe the channel and hit that bell icon for the future notification. See you in the next video. Till then, stay safe.